And welcome to We Believe Digital Studios in downtown Jackson for our twice weekly news break show. Chris Young with you today. Got about 20 different stories want to try to share with you from right here in Jackson out to the global worldwide news stories. Currently 96 degrees in Jackson. Now the weather forecast says to 100. But I could have sworn I saw earlier this morning it said 104. I know they projecting 107 degrees on tomorrow. So some 46 days, I believe, without any rain to speak of. So really a lot going on down here. But let's start on the local level. And share with you some news stories. Students at Bolton and Edwards Elementary and Middle School were surprised Tuesday morning by Comcast and elected officials delivering nearly 400 laptops to these young students, all free of charge. The people say with this technology, the students can continue their learning outside the classroom. What a beautiful gift from Comcast, nearly 400 laptops for Bolton, Edwards Elementary and Middle School students, K to 8. And just yesterday, Jackson City Council made an announcement at their finance committee that they're going to partner up with the Jackson Fire Department and secure $3 million for raises. You know, it seemed like everybody else and their brother got raises last year and some earlier this year, but the Jackson Fire Department was left out. So the city is going to put together $1.6 million and pair that up with $1.4 million directly out of the fire department budget. So Jackson leaders had to freeze 31 positions in the fire department to free up the funding in order to make the raises possible. The firefighters have said this was not what they were asked for, but it's a start. So right next door to the fire department, Joseph Wade is no longer the interim Jackson Police Department chief. He is the chief, and we wish him well. Joseph Wade, decades on the force for JPD, and seems to be off to a wonderful start as the interim chief. And as of yesterday, I believe it was, he was elevated to the permanent chief position. A lot of talk going on in Jackson and Hines about the zoo. Crazy amounts of money being spent on the zoo, but not that much money coming in. The last figures I heard was something like, $1.6 million budget, yet only $75,000 in revenue or something like that. So a lot of knee-jerking going on, trying to figure out what to do. But yesterday, the mayor said that he is supportive of keeping the zoo. Numerous council members are as well. Some other council members say we got to just look at the dollars and cents. So we'll see how this thing turns out. Sometimes there's certain parts of a city lucky enough to have a zoo. Sometimes things are maybe more important than just dollars and cents, but lots of other people get to make those decisions. This is a Emmett Till weekend, the 68th anniversary weekend. If you go to eventbrite.com, on Friday they're showing a screening of the movie Till over at the two museums. That's already been spoken for. It's already full. No new people will be added over there. But on Saturday, they have 59 tour buses going up to Sumner and Money, Mississippi, with members of the Till family joining the tour. So I want to say it's with tax, it's something like $45 a person. So it includes a lunch, includes beverages to go up there and go on these luxury tour buses if you're interested. And then Sunday there's a worship event. You can find out more about that on eventbrite.com. when we look at the broader Mississippi landscape for news right now, another day with no Republican legislators or no Republican elected leaders calling for hearings or holding hearings on this horrible TANF scandal, where the numbers vary. A lot of people saying 77 million now, but I've certainly heard numbers that come very close to $100 million. But this was United States citizen taxpayer money that funds the TANF program in every state in the country, and it's a safety net for those in poverty, those in extreme poverty. So what these Republican officials did is they diverted that money, they stole that money, they pilfered it and put it into their pet projects, while they continually reduced the number of people on the TANF rolls, and reduce the number of cash payments to people. Even the cash payments themselves, it's just horrifically low. You can't imagine supporting a family, on $265 a month or whatever it was. But they don't want to look into this. They say, well, it's playing out in the courts, and there's already people in jail over this. There's going to be more people going to jail. But it seemed like as the leaders in the state, the supermajority, you would want to find out what happened and what we can do to make sure that never happens again. They're not open to that. They're not open to that, and we tell you about that every time we come on the air. 5 human cases of West Nile virus reported in Mississippi so far this year. Report from the State Department of Health. Cases were reported in Hinds, Jackson, and Lamar counties. According to CDC, West Nile virus is the leading cause of mosquito-borne disease in the continental United States. Cases of the virus occur during mosquito season, which starts in the summer and continues through the fall. The black FedEx driver, a delivery driver who says 2 white men shot and chased him in Mississippi in 2022, has now been fired from his job. He and his attorney, Carlos Moore, shared that on Monday, actually. He said, I honestly feel disrespected. His name is DeMontario Gibson. He told the Associated Press shortly after he received an email from FedEx about his termination. FedEx claims that they had offered him a part-time job or a non-courier job, but that he refused. So, this is going to be playing out in the courts. It was a real boondoggle. The prosecutor made some terrible errors. The case was thrown out. Mistrial. It's definitely going to be brought again. The 2 smug men sitting up in the courthouse, the 2 smug white men who he claims shot at them. All this stuff had not happened by accident. It's just, these are just not stories that are made up. So we're going to see more about this in the coming months. Again, his name is DeMontario Gibson. Saturday at 2 p.m., there'll be a national summit on police brutality and injustice over in Brandon at the Pilgrim Rest Missionary Baptist Church. That's 925 Trickham Bridge Road in Brandon. Cornell West will be there. Malik Shabazz, the prolific civil rights attorney, will be there. A member of the Till family will be there. All kinds of people supporting this event, providing the resources to hold the event. Again, a national summit against this backdrop of a reign of terror by the predominantly white Rankin County Sheriff's Office against African Americans in Rankin County. It's about 75% white in Rankin County, and a dangerous place for African Americans to be, and it's just wrong. And wouldn't it be great if we could just pack that church to capacity, be out in the streets on Saturday at 2 p.m. For this national summit on police brutality and injustice. The sheriff claims he's not going to resign over there. Claims his deputies lied to him. He didn't know nothing about what was going on. But we're really not feeling all that, and so we absolutely are calling for him to resign. There's a fairly comprehensive story be coming out later tonight in the Mississippi Link newspaper, so you can keep your eye on that. TheMississippiLink.com. Just click on the e-edition. You'll be able to read that and all kinds of other great stories. The 2003 Mississippi, if you're not sitting down, go ahead and sit down for this story here. I think this came from WJTV. 2023 Mississippi Second Amendment Weekend. The Mississippi Second Amendment Weekend will take place from midnight on 12:01 Friday morning, before dawn on Friday, August 25th, and go till 12 p.m. on Sunday, so noontime on Sunday. The Second Amendment tax-free period, is 12 hours longer. Listen to this now. The Second Amendment tax-free period is 12 hours longer than the back-to-school tax-free weekend, where sales tax were, the sales tax holiday for back to school just a few weeks ago. That one ended at midnight on Saturday. For the kids, for the families, to get the kids to back to school, tax-free holiday, back to school shopping. Ended at midnight on Saturday night, but the Second Amendment weekend goes till noon on Sunday. So another 12 hours for the people that want to buy those guns. How about that? There is We Believe Digital is a media company that's really striving to expand and grow in this community. But there's other folks out there that are doing terrific work also. Mississippi Today is one of those. And it's a nonprofit news organization, heavily funded. They do some really great work. And they published a story this morning called, "What Exactly is Governor Tate Reeves' Involvement in the Welfare Scandal?" See, he claimed that he wasn't governor when all this stuff was going on. But we know that he was lieutenant governor. And we know that the lieutenant governor is the president of the Senate, what they call the upper chamber in the Mississippi legislature. So I really encourage you to read that story. Go to Mississippi Today on the web and see if you can read that story. What exactly is Governor Tate Reeves' involvement in the welfare scandal? And I want to tell you what, they list numerous areas where he was absolutely involved. They've got text messages, so forth, but just a really comprehensive story. You have a newcomer, Brandon Presley, a Democrat striving to be the governor of Mississippi, and he's claiming that Tate Reeves was involved and that he had a hand in not overseeing properly these TANF monies, which was part of his job as lieutenant governor, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then you got television ads from the governor who wants to be reelected, the Republican Tate Reeves, who wants to be reelected. He claimed none of this happened on his watch. But you read that Mississippi Today article, you'll see exactly what happened on his watch. And it's inescapable. He can't get out from under it. So Brandon Presley is telling the truth about all this, and the current governor of Mississippi is not telling us the truth about all this. So, maybe some people will be shocked by that news, maybe some people not. But check out that article. Really comprehensive, great article. And we running up against the end of the first break now, so we'll go ahead and dip out for a couple of commercials. We'll be right back with some national and global news stories for you.
Looking for the hottest content in the city of Jackson and surrounding areas? Check out WeBelieveDigital.com. Also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We Believe Digital Podcast is here for all your podcasting needs.
The Mississippi Link is an African-American female-owned newspaper with a trusted voice that is highly respected throughout the city, state, and nation. Our motto, keepers of the knowledge for people who speak the truth, since 1993. Link significantly influences the thoughts, attitudes, and buying decisions of its readers. Call us at 601-368-8481 for your advertising needs. If you would like to receive a newspaper in the mail each week, our annual subscription is only $52 per year. That is only $1 per week for you to stay informed regarding many stories that you can only get in the Mississippi Link. Sign up today at themississippilink.com and click on Home Delivery.
Do you have something to say? Do you want your voice heard? Join the We Believe Global lineup. Be the star of your own show. For more info, call 800-492-5186, option number 1, or visit online at webelieve.global.
Are you dreaming of becoming an entrepreneur, but you're not sure where or how to start? At Entrepreneurs Academy 101, our online program will guide you step by step on how to start and grow your own business. We offer courses such as how to write a business plan, how to create a budget, and so much more. Our online training program is designed for you to learn at your own pace, and there's no set order to complete this program. Because our academy is online, you have the choice to learn with a group, with friends, or individually. Upon completion of the entire curriculum, you will receive a certificate of achievement to acknowledge that you have completed the training needed to become a successful entrepreneur. So enroll today to design the life that you love. Contact your entrepreneur coach, Brenda Myers, at 601-672-0695 or visit our website at www.entrepreneursacademy101.com for more information.
And welcome back to We Believe Digital Studios, our twice weekly news break show. So glad to have you with us. We've been talking just over the last 15 minutes about things going on in Jackson and Hinds County. Can't forget, this coming Tuesday, we'll remind you on Friday, but this coming Tuesday, we got back to the polls now. Really important. Got to close the deal, get the right people in office. Tremendously important. No time for apathy, no time for being too hot. We got to do it. That's the kind of thing. You get the right people in office, and it can improve your circumstances. Very important. So on to the national news. This from CNN, talking about this Georgia indictment. A parade of Trump's co-defendants are setting bond and surrendering at an Atlanta jail, beating a path of accountability that the ex-president and kingpin of the alleged election meddling conspiracy will follow on one of the most jarring days in presidential history. And they say that because Trump said that he will turn himself in. Essentially, he'll be arrested tomorrow in Fulton County, Georgia. And then he'll be released, with some type of agreement. I think they agreed that he pay a $200,000 bond. They go on to say, but Trump's fresh attacks on prosecutors and legal maneuvers by some of his ex-aides are underscoring their belief that the law can be defied and that there shouldn't be consequences for subverting democracy. The same attitude that fueled the false claims of the 2020 election to begin with. Especially concerning given Trump, despite deciding to skip Wednesday's first GOP primary debate, has a strong chance of becoming the Republican Party's presidential nominee in 2020. So the subverting of democracy and allegations of illegal behavior persist, and this looked like the front runner. So the next story, just 8 GOP hopefuls on the debate stage tonight. That's 9 o'clock Eastern time, 8 o'clock here Central time in Mississippi. The 8 hopefuls that'll be debating tonight are the former Vice President Mike Pence, the Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, the former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, the former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, the current only black senator you can't make that up. The only black senator in the United States of America, Tim Scott from South Carolina, he's going to be on the debate stage. The only black person on the debate stage. Asa Hutchinson, former governor of Arkansas. Vivek Ramaswamy, a tech entrepreneur. He's going to be there. And somebody named Doug Burgum, the North Dakota governor, is going to be there. But then I saw another report he hurt himself playing basketball yesterday, so he might not be there. But Trump is skipping that debate, and he's going to do an interview instead with Tucker Carlson. You remember Tucker Carlson and Fox News and those depositions where they admitted lying to the American people month after month after month about Donald Trump. And saying all kinds of horrible things about him behind the scenes, but yet, now Tucker Carlson is out at Fox News, but now he's figuring out a way to get his own media company going and going to interview Trump tonight at the same time as the GOP debate is going on. So try and provide a little distraction, or however you want to say that. Many experts are reporting rises in COVID cases. Compromised children and older adults are the folks at highest risk. There's uptick in cases have been reported, and also the next booster isn't really going to be out until sometime in September. So if you go and get the booster now, it's not the latest booster. But upticks in cases have been reported in 82 counties, according to the CDC. That's roughly becomes about 3% of the country. And 25% of those cases are in the state of Florida. So a lot of people are saying it's time to rethink the masks. We might need to go back to masks, especially those that are older and have a more compromised health picture. An announcement first shared with CNN, the FAA said Wednesday that $121 million from agency grants from the 2021 infrastructure law will be doled out to 8 airports from Florida to Alaska. They've had a lot of these, near misses, crazy stuff happening around airports. So this comes 3 months after the FAA announced $100 million in similar funding for a dozen other airports. The largest outlay in the latest round of funding is $44.9 million, and it's to simplify the airport layout at Boston's Logan International. And folks believe that if they invest more in the airport infrastructure, that's going to reduce the potential for mishaps in very close to airports or at airports. And we've seen about 4 of those so far this year. So people are concerned about that. The last story on the national front is that back to these Catholics and their sex abuse. The Archdiocese of San Francisco filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, facing more than 400 lawsuits alleging child sexual abuse. Quote, the unfortunate reality is the Archdiocese, this is what the Archdiocese is saying, they have neither the financial means nor the practical ability to litigate all these abuse claims individually, and therefore, after much consideration, concluded the bankruptcy process was the best solution for providing fair and equitable compensation to the innocent survivors who have been harmed That according to the Archbishop Salvatore Cordileone. Cordileone, huh? Saying Monday in a press release. But the Cathedral Basilica of Saints Peter and Paul, head of the Church of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Philadelphia, I'm sorry, that's what the diocese is saying, not the Archbishop in San Francisco. The folks from the Survivors Network of Abuse, they say we seriously doubt that the Archbishop of San Francisco does not have the assets to settle these lawsuits. We find it disturbing that Archbishop Cordileone claimed that that this is the best way for victims' lawsuits to be resolved. So they're saying the Catholic Church got all kinds of money, and they're just trying to figure out a way to make the payments less. But this is a horrible stain on the church. The church membership has declined substantially, and is no longer the biggest church here now. And so now they've got a foothold all across the globe, but the membership and the attendance in the Catholic Church has declined sharply. People finally figuring out that they brought their lambs to these programs and so forth, and they weren't treated well. Moreover, they were abused in thousands and thousands and thousands of cases. India has landed a spacecraft on the south pole of the moon. An amazing day for India. Big deal. Only the fourth time. It's called the Chandrayaan-3 rocket touchdown. The Prime Minister Modi says this moment is unforgettable. It is phenomenal. This is the victory cry of a new India. So way to go, India. The Philippines, hard at work, delivering supplies to mariners aboard the BRP Sierra Madre, a dilapidated military outpost in the contested South China Sea. Now, Chinese vessels did their very best to attempt to block this mission, but the Philippine sailors made it happen, broke through the blockade and made the deliveries that they're supposed to make. So much going on in that South China Sea, China and Taiwan, and so forth. So we'll try to keep you up on that. And tomorrow, Japan starts releasing the water from the 2011 earthquake tsunami, the Fukushima disaster, and this highly radioactive material has been treated and stored in massive tanks, but space is running out, and authorities say they need to get rid of the water to safely decommission the plant, hence the ocean release plan. Now, a lot of people have looked at that. It's been approved by all the authorities. So even though that water may not be completely radioactive free, it's at levels that are safe enough when it disperses in the ocean. They say that it's not going to cause harm. So let's just hope they're right. So that's the show for today. We thank you so much for joining us, and look forward to seeing you back again on Friday at 12 noon. Have a great afternoon. Stay safe. Take care of yourself and each other.